I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Now, today we're reading from the book of Isaiah, chapter 65. Let's focus on verses 1 through 5. I was sought by those who did not ask. I was found by those who did not seek me. I said, here I am, to a nation that was not called by my name. I spread out my hands all day long to a rebellious people who walk in the wrong path, following their own thoughts. And these people continually provoked me to my face, sacrificing in gardens, burning incense on bricks, sitting among the graves, spending nights in secret places, eating swine's flesh and polluted broth in their bowels. And they say, keep to yourself, don't come near me, for I am holy for you. These practices are smoke in my nostrils and fire that burns all day long. The prayer for revival in chapter 64 is answered in the opening verses of chapter 65. God's answer to Isaiah's prayer for revival is of such magnitude that we are meant to learn from it and to be thankful. Israel's near-dead condition would not last long, at least not as God measures time. You know, God's answers to our prayers are sometimes in terms that surpass our understanding, even though we struggle to think His thoughts based on our comprehension of what we've read in the Bible. I think God would do this. We have to understand that His ways and His thoughts are so different than ours, to the point that unless He reveals His thoughts, we could only guess them at the very best. You know, it is possible to see the remaining 2 chapters as the answer to the prayer of Isaiah. Isaiah 64, verse 12, after all this, O Lord, will you hold yourself back? Will you keep silent and punish us beyond measure? The answer, in part, is as follows. God will show Himself to a multitude larger than you can even imagine. His people, though they may be in a pitiful condition at present, will be restored to prosperity. Even though Israel has chosen as God's special nation, not everyone in Israel chose the Lord. That is to say, even the chosen people have to choose the God who chose them. And not every Israelite was a true believer. You're not saved simply because you're born a Jewish person. Romans 9:6 is very clear, for not all who are descended from Israel are Israel. So what distinguishes a true community of God is not the division between Jew and Gentile. Oh, well, the true community of God are Jewish believers. No. Anyone who seeks God and those who forsake God, that's the difference. Whether you're Jew or Gentile, if you seek the Lord, and you receive the gospel, you're saved. If you forsake the Lord and you reject the gospel, you're not. So when the Apostle Paul saw that far more Gentiles than Jews believed in Jesus, well, then he faced a problem for which he needed a scriptural answer. And Paul found that answer in Isaiah's prophecy. And he said so in Romans chapter 10 when he quoted Isaiah 65. The obstinate Jews of Isaiah's day, who were intent on pursuing their own ways, well, they were cut off. Meanwhile, Gentiles, he speaks of the nation who did not call upon God. Gentiles are grafted in. Salvation has always and will always come by way of God's grace through man's faith in God's offer of salvation. So whether the believer is Jewish or Gentile is arbitrary to God's promise that whoever calls upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Have you called upon the name of the Lord? Have you surrendered to the gospel? Is Jesus Christ Lord of your life? If not, if you can go to our website, groundworksministries.com, and there's a very clear presentation of the gospel there. I'll even lead you through a prayer where you can speak to the Lord yourself, and you can know for certain that you are saved. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. You know, Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations from generous and faithful people just like you. And yes, we do need your monthly support. Donating is secure and it's easy at our website, groundworksministries.com. Another way to help is just tell people about Groundworks Ministries. Share these podcasts with friends and family and on your social media. Of course, you can always direct folks to our website, groundworksministries.com.